This week, my lovely Texas Longhorns, hook 'em, take on the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they could not stand us. I don't think they've ever been able to stand us. And so for 2 weeks in a row, this Texas football team is going to have to play their rivals. The great news is they get to play them at home, and this is another opportunity for Texas to show up after a ridiculous loss. Texas didn't look good against Georgia, and that just was what it was, and now it's a new game. And sometimes whenever you go out there and you get embarrassed in life, in football, in whatever, then the next time you show up is your opportunity to be better, to do better. A lot of us don't care about who you are when you're on top. A lot of us care about who you are once you've gotten embarrassed, once you've been knocked down, because now you have to fight. Now you have to fight a little bit harder. And so for me, this game has nothing to do with Arkansas, and that's no disrespect to them. It has everything to do with the University of Texas and who they want to be remembered as a football team. Do you want to be remembered as a team that lost to Georgia and then couldn't get right the last 2 games of the season? Or do you want to be a team that couldn't get right against Georgia and came back home and fought 2 hard-fought wins to end the season? Then, hey, things get interesting. That is what I'm expecting Texas to do this week. I'm expecting them to bounce back. I'm expecting them to look better. I'm expecting the receivers to catch the ball. I'm expecting the secondary to do what they're supposed to do. I'm just expecting a better Texas team because that is what I expect of them. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. Being at home, I think, is going to help them. But hey, we don't know what's going on. The one thing I do know is Texas still has an Arch Manning that is developing. And so I'm still curious to see how his development goes. These are the last 2 games of the season to really be able to see who Arch Manning is, what this team is, what this defense is all about, what these guys care about, and their heart should be left out on the field these last 2 games, and I'm excited to see it. Having said all of those things, let me get into some things that I know about Arkansas, because they are a very interesting team when it comes to offense and defense. Well, we'll just talk about that on the other side of this. If you like the content you're getting, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Don't forget to turn on those notification bells and do all the YouTube things. Arkansas's offense is electric. They have a quarterback that can scramble. They have a running back that can run the football very well, very effectively, and they get the ball down the field. The offense is a great piece of this Arkansas team. The other thing is, too, anytime you play quarterbacks that are going to escape out of the pocket, that could potentially beat you with their legs, it does make the game plan a little bit interesting. And so I'm curious to see how Texas matches up against Arkansas. I think their offense is where they are electric. They've been losing games, though, because of penalties and turnovers by that same offense. So that lets me know they're going to take risks. They're going to take risk. They're going to try to throw the ball down the field. Their run game is where they really shine. Right now, between the running back and quarterback, they have 1,600 rushing yards. So their game plan is to run the ball. RPO, that is what they're going to do. And so it is going to be up to this Texas defense to stay disciplined, eye discipline, to see what they're looking at and to take action. I think the other thing that's going to be interesting about this game is Texas's secondary hasn't been that great as of late, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Texas plays this game. I do think this front 7 should help out a lot, but you never really know. Once somebody escapes out of the pocket, things get tricky, and so I'm very curious to see how this Texas defense responds to this Arkansas offense. On the flip side of this, the Arkansas defense is just not very good. I don't know what else to say. Besides that, they're just not very good. And so I expect this Texas offense to continue to make this Arkansas defense not look very good. That is their goal, is to make this defense not look good. And that is what you want to do. And that's the momentum you want to take into this heading into the game next week. And so I am going to be paying attention to what does this Texas offense look like against this Arkansas defense. I'm going to be very fascinated to see how this Texas defense also plays against this quarterback, because I think it's going to set up something cool for next week. The other thing I just want to mention here is Arkansas has lost their last 8 games. However, 6 out of those 8 games has been a 1-possession game, and they've lost leads. My point is, the reason why that is happening is because they're able to score points. Scoring points is not their issue. Their issue is holding on to that football and stopping the other team from scoring points. And so this could be a very interesting game because both of these teams have a little something, giving and taking and going for them. And so if Texas's defense does not step up to the plate, this is going to be a very interesting game, in my opinion. I think Texas has to be able to protect the football. That is going to be very important to the success of this game. The other thing is Texas receivers have to catch the ball. It is unacceptable for these receivers to not catch the football. These Texas receivers have to catch the ball. So we have to make sure that we do not turn the ball over, and we have to make sure that we catch the football. Yep. You know what? Let me just be honest here. So yes, we need to protect the football, and yes, our receivers need to catch the football. But the other thing is too, everybody just needs to elevate their play. Everybody just needs to be a little bit better. And I think that would make me happy. I want to see everybody elevate their play a little bit. I want to see the linebackers elevate their play. I want to see this defensive line elevate their play. I want to see everyone in this Texas team locked in, elevating their play, and looking like they want to play for a solid 4 quarters. Not one time in this season have I seen this Texas team play all 4 quarters consistently, aggressively, and just play and stay focused. I haven't seen that this season. I might have seen it one time week 3 or 4, but it was against a lower tier opponent. So I want to see Texas stay focused and locked in for all 4 quarters. In my opinion, staying focused and locked in doesn't mean that you're blowing teams out, but it does mean that you're disciplined with penalties. It does mean that you catch the football. It does mean that special teams does what they're supposed to do. So I need to see a complete game from the Texas Longhorns because I haven't seen it yet. I'm actually waiting to see them play a solid 4 quarters. That would be fantastic if I could see that in this Arkansas game. And that is going to be my keys to the game because I don't know what I'm going to get from this team and I don't really know what to expect from them. So if they play all 4 quarters consistently, I have to count that as a win. I think the X factor of this game is going to be, can we stop the run? Because we all know that's what Arkansas wants to do. And then the flip side of that is going to be, are we going to be able to get any type of run game going? Because in the way this is structured now, we have 2 games left in the season. And right now we're on the outside looking in of almost everything. And so the way to kind of change that is we have to be better and we have to get better. And so one of the ways that we can get better is by being more consistent on defense. Stopping the run is going to be super important. And then we need to run the football. We need to run the football. I'll just leave it at that. So I think the X factor is going to be our ability to stop the run because first we have to do that. And the second thing that's going to be important for this Texas Longhorn football team is going to be our ability to run the ball. We have to actually call run plays. I think it's ridiculous that we stop calling run plays. And so, hey, Coach Sark, you're on the clock. I'm paying attention to your play calling. I'm paying attention to what you have going on. I expect you in this game for your play calling to be better. Because if you want me to trust you calling the plays for my team, I need to see more consistent and better play calling. Don't go away from things just because you want to go away from things. I think we need to stay focused. And I want to see a Texas team come out in this game ready to go. I want to see this Texas team fired up, excited to be at home, and ready to beat Arkansas. Anything less than that is unacceptable. And those are my expectations from this Texas football team. I need you to show up. I need you to look prepared. I need you to look locked in. I need you to be focused. And I need you to go out there and find a way to beat Arkansas. Full stop. If you blow them out, that's fine too. But I'm just saying, I don't care if you win by 1 point, 2 point, whatever it is. I just need you to go out there and get the job done. And I need you to look consistent doing it. I don't even want to call this Arkansas game a trap game because what is Texas being trapped for at this point in this season? Because right now, we're just doing some things that are not very good. So to me, this can't technically be a trap game when there's no reason to trap you, but it can be a trap game because that Texas A&M game is going to be a huge game. It's going to be a very important game. It is against your rival, and we all know every Texas fan wants to beat Texas A&M at the end of the season, if for no other reason than to say that we beat them at the end of the season. So in order to do that, though, I need Texas to be locked in this week, and I need them to work on some things this week that will make them better for next week. Those are my expectations. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hook 'em. I'll see you in my next video.